Well, good morning, top of the morning to you. 4 a.m. DIY life, 4 a.m. Well, Ryan here. It's DIY in 4D. And in these episodes of DIY life, if you're tuning in for the first time, thank you very much. Each Friday at 4 a.m. for 52 weeks of the year, we do a little pulse check. And by pulse check is this whole series is about turning a resolution, one, into a goal, an eventual goal, and then an accomplished goal that is achieved, whether it's on the last day of the year or, for those that are just on a warpath, you did it in 2 weeks or a month, all right. But this process or this model is, it's more of a motivational business plus physical. So if I had to say it, it kind of encompasses a spirit, soul, and body component that takes into account the current business world that we have to live in and function in, and it also incorporates, the basics of I say motivation. I'm an entrepreneur, but there's always a side to the fact that we're in a physical world. It's very difficult, and exercise and being physical into something is it really helps us in a lot of ways. Obviously, to stay healthy, but to stay sharp. So we incorporate the exercise, the physical side, because I realize, you may have a goal of being a certified public accountant, and then you pick up this book, and so you're not doing the physical side. You're actually reading and studying. So, but it all applies. It applies to whatever you're doing in life, and that's why it's called DIY Life 4 a.m. Is we're breaking cycles and breaking patterns that have been in our life for, most of it. And for myself, even though I didn't go to the military, I had my own military type training in different ways. I had paper out for 3 years. So it was always 5 a.m., 4:45 every morning for 3 years, from 12 years old to 15. And then I was in the restaurants for 12 years professionally, and even before then, another 4 years before then, getting ready for it. From pretty much 15 and a half till 18, I was in restaurants and catering. So I say all that because that was the first another type of military training. I worked for a company that had former Naval SEALs within their top 12 commanders, owners, and they exuded, and I mean exuded, professionalism and excellence in every single aspect of their lives. And they were, the company was a Navy SEAL type company. So for the first 3 years of my life in that company, as well, I had my boot camp training. We often had to go in the back and wash dishes and close the restaurant until 3 in the morning. And so you got used to how to do those things. And that's how it's carrying over into this week's episode of 4 quarters. So we labeled it 4 quarters because we're going to try to cover every aspect of life. And if you don't know, today is March 31st, 2023. It's the last day of the first quarter of 2023. And that's how the world functions. So it doesn't matter what kind of time clock that you're on. So if you're Islamic or a Muslim, you're on a moon calendar. If you're follow the Judaism, you're on a solar and a moon. If you're in this world, besides that, and some other religions also practice those too, they're on a Gregorian calendar, and by that you go off the solar, you go off the sun. One day and so forth, 365 days of the year, and that's what we're on. So we did 4 quarters because you might not realize how the ebb and flow of the business cycle affects your life in almost every aspect. So if you don't have a good little understanding of patterns and how a business world functions, and then you're wondering, why things happen, well, like for instance, towards the last fourth quarter of the year, a lot of businesses tend to cut, slow down, plan because you have pretty much 8 weeks of that fourth quarter where it's all festivities from Halloween to Thanksgiving to Christmas to the holiday season, New Year. So businesses have to function that way. They can't, it's not business as usual. So the way it works typically is the first quarter of the year is like a restructure. Second and third quarters of the year is when you have it in fifth gear as a business and you're getting the majority of your sales in second and third quarter of the year. By the fourth quarter, you start to downshift. And that's how you have a good outlook on how the world functions. They function that way off of profit. We have another episode called a P&L. How's your moral P&L and how a P&L even works? What is a P&L? Profit and loss statement. And so these types of outlooks help you achieve from writing something down, losing 20 pounds as an example, and to where that now becomes a goal. You haven't, that list is, you don't have to, typically refer back to that list. If the one goal is, I wrote it down, I'm losing 20 pounds, you don't need the list to keep looking at it. You're going to be on a scale that measures you. And then you're looking at what the facts of that total weight is over a course of time to when you finally hit that goal. And then you have what we call the summit. You've accomplished it, and hey, well, way to go. Now you've done something to where it can't be taken away from you. So your internal spirit and your soul and your body has achieved something where that can't be taken away from you, and you can do it again, hopefully, in some other way, or maybe down the road you got to do it again. And so you've been there. So understanding the four quarters is something that people may not have known, and it's important because now as we close this first quarter of the year, we have the quarterlies, taxes are due, and reports. Used to always do a monthly report and now a quarterly report. How's your business doing? How's your body doing? How's your soul doing? And then it's actually reverse. So your spirit is always primary. Your soul is secondary, and your body's third. Most of Western affluent civilization has it in reverse. But not to go down that path, what we're really saying here is have a very good idea of how the world functions on the calendar. And so I wanted to bring that up because it's really important and how we're going about strategically. So I hope that this first quarter for you was successful. But if it wasn't, if you're just now tuning back in and that first goal, resolution, is not even a goal anymore and it's been thrown away, hey, pick it up because now we're into that second quarter and it's okay because now the sun's going to get warm. Well, the earth's going to get warmer, and we're here in Southern California, so let me tell you, it's been 40 years, 1982, 83, 84, since we've seen anything like this. We have record breaking from Southern Sierra to Mammoth, and a ton, and I mean a ton of snow. So obviously here we're just getting going in the very early stages of spring. But hey, it's getting warmer, and these storms are breaking up. They're not sitting around for 3 or 4 days now, so that's good. And now we can start to work towards where it's easier. I'm just giving the example of weight. It's easier to lose weight. It's when the sun's out and you have more time and it's warmer and there's more activity, it's a little easier actually to get into those goals than to try to push through a lot that's happened. So I hope that helps you as far as your quarterly analysis. And hey, tomorrow will be the 1st of April. So pick that thing back up. And if you've already done it, pick another one up. You don't have to wait till the New Year's resolution cycle to write something else down. I always like to say, am I getting better today? Am I better than yesterday and whatever I'm trying to do? Because that's really the goal, is to always push forward and get better at what I'm trying to do. So I hope that helped you. Thanks for tuning in to DIY Live 4 a.m. and be safe. God bless. Peace.